Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we head to Seville Diner for the third annual Coffee with a Cop, where residents are encouraged to come sit down and talk with police officers in an informal setting in a community building effort between the police department and residents. Then we welcome Al Nygren, the executive director and curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, back to the studio for a filmmaker interview as he talks with the director of the short film C.I.T. Plus we have more healthy eating tips with dietitian Mary Rose as she talks about how to shop for and prepare a healthy, quick, and affordable dinner. All this, plus we welcome Gautam John to the studio as he talks about a series of lectures at Rutgers University, sponsored by the Vedanta Cultural Foundation, dealing with the art of living a peaceful and productive life. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
The East Brunswick Police Department held its third Coffee with a Cop function at the Seville Diner. The department invited the public to discuss community issues and build relationships over coffee.
We're at the Seville Diner for Coffee with a Cop. It's our third time that we've run the Coffee with a Cop program. And I have members from all my divisions here to facilitate conversation with the community. Historically, police have sometimes worked in a vacuum, and times have changed. And without our community and without our community input, and we can't get our job done. So we're always looking to reach out to our community, get feedback, start conversation, come up with ideas, concerns, and by working collaboratively with the community, that's how we can get things done. And that's what we're really committed to here at East Brunswick Police Department. I think you would come here and meet some of the officers and realize that they're just regular people, just like anybody else, with families, and that they're great people. And it's just to start friendships and just to know us more as for who we are than just the police officers. That's what we're looking to do. It's basically a conversation. We're not responding to a problem. We're not responding to any kind of an incident. We're really here just to speak to people and to get to know people in our community. So it's a great thing. I'm going to continue to do it every year, and hopefully we get a good turnout tonight. The Seville Diner has been wonderful to the East Brunswick Police Department for allowing us to be here and giving us this whole back room. And we've had it here each time, and my thanks to them. They really stepped up and really helped us out. I'd just like to thank the community for their support of the East Brunswick Police Department. We are committed to serving the community with honor, integrity, and public trust. And we will continue to do that in the future. And if anyone ever has any questions or concerns and they're watching this right now and they're not here, they can always reach out to us on our website. We have a Facebook. They can reach out to any division with any concern, and we'll be there for them.
Hello everyone, it's Al Nygren again, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival. We are here with the last of our filmmaker interviews for the fall 2016 season, which will be taking place between September 17th and October 28th on select Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings at our state-of-the-art facility on Rutgers University's campus in New Brunswick, New Jersey, Voorhees Hall, room 105. Most programs begin at 7 p.m. You can get complete information at our website at njfilmfest.com. Today we have a very special guest, filmmaker Cara Consilvio, the director of C.I.T. Tell us what C.I.T. stands for, Cara.
C.I.T. stands for Counselor in Training, so anyone who has gone to camp will be familiar with that term.
So this is a film that takes place before a camp actually begins, correct?
Yeah, in the days leading up to the start of a camp season, which for most camps involves their staff coming in, staff getting trained, and setting everything up for the kids.
You know, our jury just absolutely loved your film. They thought it was very sensitive. The cinematography is just mouth-dropping. It's just so beautiful. The lead characters are really very, very sensitive, and you feel for them too. So tell us a little bit about this film and how you got involved.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about making a short narrative film for a long time. I've been working as a producer. I'd produced some of my friends and colleagues' short films. I'd made a lot of tribute videos, lifetime achievement videos for award shows as a producer. And I, a long time ago, was a film major and loved film, and then took the direction of being a performer, was an actor and opera singer, and then went very much into the opera world, where now I direct and produce opera as well.
Wow.
So, you know, when I started thinking about what film do I want to make, what resources do I have, I had gone to this camp. We filmed at a camp called Roads End Farm, which is in Chesterfield, New Hampshire. It's an amazing horse equestrian camp for girls. I went there from age 11 and into my early 20s. I was a counselor there.
Very cool.
So I knew that I might have a chance of being able to film at this place. And I think since I was 14 or 15, I dreamed about making a film there.
Wow.
And so then it was, what story do I want to tell? And I was lucky enough to be able to write for a location. And I wanted to write something personal. And so I started working on a script and went from there.
So it's partially autobiographical.
It is definitely partially autobiographical. Really the feeling of the movie and that sense of what it feels like to be on the periphery of someone else's tragedy that you have no control over and can't do anything to stop.
So you have this really dynamic kind of interaction between two female characters that are, you know, coming out of adolescence.
Absolutely.
They're in their late teens, Lizzie and Sarah. How did you find these two gals? They're really great.
I have so many friends. I wanted to write an accurate portrayal of a friendship of adolescence and a coming-of-age movie that was about something small in terms of the event, but that had a ripple effect at that moment where you're very clear on morality. I think up until a certain point, things are black or white. There's decisions, and you're told what's right or wrong throughout your childhood, and then something happens that really changes your perspective, and all of a sudden there is no right choice.
Right, and I mean, when you're watching the film, you wonder why the burden is placed on is Sarah, right? And you know, the lead counselor says something horrible has happened to her friend, and without saying any more, but you can just feel the burden that's placed on Sarah, and she has great difficulty, I think, kind of keeping it under wraps.
I think so, and then, you know, thought a lot about why would that person put that burden on her? And I think it's when something terrible happens, people don't know how to process.
That's true.
There's no good way to deliver news. People process things in different ways, and I think by telling her, it's that character's way of processing the event and starting to move forward from it.
And in that sense, it's a story that everyone can relate to. So tell us a little bit more about how long did this film take to make? And
well, you know, we had an amazing casting process. I put a lot of ads out on Backstage and all the places where you cast. We got about 600 submissions, and the women had to be within a certain age range. They had to be able to ride horses and swim. So we thought that would narrow, but no, we got 600 submissions. We auditioned 100 women, plus we had a lot of in person, and then we had a lot of online submissions. And our lead, Emily Veer-Nickel, had just come off of being in a film with Peter Sarsgaard that went to Sundance, The Experimenter. We felt very lucky to get her. Laura Kaiser is the other lead and is just working all the time. And really just felt so lucky to get such a wonderful cast.
Yeah. The Experimenter, that's the Stanley Milgram story. Cool.
And she has a great little scene with Peter Sarsgaard. And, so
That's very nice, but you can tell that they know what they're doing. They were obviously not amateurs. They're really very professional, and the whole production is really very well put together. Production values are extremely high. I mean, the shots of them riding the horses at twilight, if I remember correctly, is really quite beautiful.
Which was one of the challenges. I wasn't sure how the horses were going to react to the boom. Your earlier question of how long did it take to make, we had 3 full days of shooting. So we arrived on a Sunday, we filmed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we left. So we took everyone from New York City to this camp in New Hampshire. The entire cast and crew is from New York. And you know, on the first night, we did have the lead actors all ride the horses they would be riding to make sure that we paired them up properly, to make sure. Some people might have exaggerated their riding skills. Just a refresher lesson for everyone, and then also for the horses, testing the booms around the horses.
Right, so they're not spooked out.
Yeah, making sure we chose horses who wouldn't be spooked. But even then, you know, when we were shooting in the woods, it's hiking through the woods with our crew, trying to get ahead of the horses and yet not have them spook as they come around the corner and see the equipment. So it was tricky.
And only in 3 days. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, folks, you have to absolutely see this wonderful film. We're going to be screening it on Sunday, October 2nd. There's a series of short films. And you know, the funny thing is that our festival has a lot of films that focus on women and strong women and women that are able to come up with, solutions to great problems. And I think that's really kind of neat given the election that's coming around.
Absolutely.
And I thought that it was really telling. But folks, you have to see this film Sunday, October 2nd. At 7 p.m. Cara's going to be there to do a Q&A with the other filmmakers after the evening is done. She'll also intro the film. And it starts at 7 p.m. in Voorhees 105. You need further information, feel free to reach out to us at 848-932-8482. And then you can also visit our website, which is njfilmfest.com. Thanks so much for joining us, Cara.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Mary Rose Agel, registered dietitian at ShopRite of Spotswood, and I'm here to make healthy eating easy for you. Well, we all know school is back in session, so that means the change from those lazy summer days to jam-packed fall. Days filled with after-school programs, extracurricular activities, and homework can make weeknight meals a real challenge. But don't worry, I'm here to help. Today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite weeknight dinner, and that is delicious and nutritious. Okay, so here is my favorite family taco meal. Okay, we have lots of add-ins, but what you can do for super quick meal is buy a rotisserie chicken and shred it, or you can pick up a shredded chicken already. Black beans, they add protein. We have some low-fat dairy and add in some avocados for a healthy fat. So it's real super easy. Just going to layer on the chicken. So good and so easy. Family's going to love this. And what's great about it is that everybody can put on what they love. I happen to love a little bit of cheese, and I really, really love avocado. I put it everywhere on everything. You can top this off with some slow-fat sour cream, a salsa of your choice, and you're good to go. Family meals are important because people who eat at home eat healthier and they consume less calories. And regular family meals are linked to higher self-esteem and higher grades in children. And kids who partake in family meals are less likely to be overweight. For more meal ideas or information about my free nutrition services, stop by ShopRite of Spotswood. Until next time.
opportunities. I think the best thing about Youth Council is that you really get to interact with people who live in East Brunswick, and you can help them out with their events and their individual projects to make our community better as a whole.
Hi, I'm Bobby.
Hi, I'm Melissa,
and we're your new vice presidents.
And I'm Ivy, your new co-president.
My favorite event is EB Day.
EB Day?
When is that?
It's September 24th, and you can all get involved.
It's a great way to meet new local organizations.
There are fun performances
and eat great food.
So come join us.
Michelle! Fiona! Community Service Chair! Community Service Chair is important because we make events that help children have fun.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
I'm Daisy.
I'm Dennis.
I'm Aditi.
I'm Leah.
And we're Best Buddies co-chairs. Best Buddies is a program that allows kids with special needs at the high school to interact and form friendships with their peers at the high school who are also youth council volunteers.
It's great for the buddies because they learn how to interact better in social situations, and it's great for the volunteers because you get to make new friends.
One of my favorite events from last year was probably Coffee House. Different performers from the high school share their special talents, whether it's singing or dancing, and they express themselves with buddies.
We also go on many trips such as the beach, boardwalk, and Crystal Springs where everyone can socialize and interact with the kids.
I personally love Best Buddies because it's allowed me to meet new people and make really great friendships, and it's opened my eyes to different types of people and new experiences.
So join Best Buddies!
Hi, my name is John, and I am the sports coordinator for East Brunswick Youth Council. My job as sports coordinator is to run and manage sporting activities for all of Youth Council members. East Brunswick Youth Council members have the unique opportunity to join many sporting events and small group activities. For example, last year we ran a 3v3 basketball tournament that was widely successful.
I'm Claire.
Hi, I'm Caitlin.
And we're the environmental chair. The environmental chair organizes many events that help benefiting the local environment and community at East Brunswick, and we have events such as beach sweeps.
We also clean up parks such as Bicentennial and Heavenly Farms.
Hi, my name is Sue, and I'm the fundraising chair. Last year we had a lot of success with the fundraising events such as the Applebee's Flapjack and Panera event. This year we also have a lot of events prepared, so come support us.
My favorite youth council event is the Frost Beach Bash because I know a lot of the kids that go to Frost since I work there. And seeing them helping out with really warms my heart, and it makes me realize what youth council is really about.
I'm Sophia. And I'm Lauren, and this is Stella. And our overall goal for youth advocating for animals is to let animals get better homes and let them live happier lives.
We plan to do this through pet adoptions, reaching out to animal organizations that can help animals get food and vaccinations, and spreading awareness about animal abuse.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I am one of the drug prevention liaisons, and we work very closely with the East Brunswick Alliance Against Alcoholism and Drug Abuse to minimize the use of these substances in our area. Basically, we relay any important information regarding the youth to the Alliance and help to link the efforts of Youth Council and the Alliance.
Stay connected. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Yeah.
Hi, this is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. Today we're very fortunate to be with Gautam Jain, who's a philosopher with the Vedanta Cultural Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I understand that you're organizing a lecture series here in our area based on ancient wisdom and its role in practical life. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Vedanta and wisdom?
Yes. This ancient wisdom is called Vedanta. And Vedanta literally means the end of knowledge, the culmination of knowledge. And why it's the highest knowledge is because it gives you the technique of living. See, the problem with human beings in general is that nobody considers life as something which has to be learnt and practiced. So you play the violin, you play golf, you fly an aircraft. You got to learn how to do it, right? Imagine if you're flying an aircraft, you're in the middle of the sky and you don't know how to do it. You will crash. So similarly, living is a technique, it's a skill, it's an art, which needs to be learnt and practiced. So Vedanta is the technique, the technique of living.
Now, on your website, you talk about intellect and you talk about knowledge, and what's the difference? What are we looking to obtain in Vedanta?
See, if you analyze the world, you will find two distinct types of people, right? You go to the western part of the world, you come here in the New York area, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of production, and therefore there's prosperity. But by their own admission, people have lost their peace of mind. You know, tomorrow I'm going to speak at a company which manufactures these antidepressants, you know, and there's so much in use now. Why is that? And then you go to the eastern part of the world, you go to rural India, for example. People are quite content, they're peaceful, but there's no dynamism, there's no production, and therefore there's no prosperity. So the paradox of life is where you find peace, you don't find prosperity. Where you find prosperity and action, you don't find peace. So the role of this wisdom is to teach you how to combine the two, how you can be dynamic, you can be productive, you can be active, and yet at the same time peaceful. You don't have to look to running away from your work, you know.
And I saw an interesting quote on your website, if you don't find peace in action, you'll never find it with weekends and vacations.
Yes. See, what happens again, if you don't know how to live in the world, you don't know the technique of right action, action becomes a source of stress and strain. And therefore people look to run away from action to find happiness. This is the biggest tragedy in life, you know. You call somebody on Friday, I say, how are you? He says, I'm hanging in there. What do you mean I'm hanging in there? Why are you in that condition? So what Vedanta says is, if you cannot find happiness where you are, you will never find it by escaping from doing what you're doing. So you got to learn the art, the technique of finding peace in action.
So my next question was, how does this knowledge fit into our daily living? Is that what this talk discusses with the people who come to attend?
Exactly, exactly. See, what happens is people believe that happiness or sorrow lies in the world outside. But this is not true. It's not the world that can give you peace or sorrow, but how you relate to it. One person smokes a cigarette and he says it gives him pleasure. Another person detests it. One person wants to divorce his wife. Another person is waiting desperately to marry that same woman. Now, how do you explain that? So it's not the world, it's how you relate to it. So this lecture series that we're organizing is all about the technique, the art of living, how to relate to the world.
Now tell us a little bit about this. This is a free public lecture series at Rutgers, is that correct?
Yes. So as a service to the community, we are organizing this lecture series. It's free, it's open to all, and we're inviting two world-renowned philosophers, Swami Parthasarathi and his daughter disciple Sunandaji from India, and they will be delivering these lecture series.
And this is coming up soon. This is September the 29th through October the 2nd.
Yes. So September 29th through the 1st, Sunandaji will be speaking in the evenings. It's a lecture series. And on the 2nd is the highlight event where Swami Parthasarathi himself will be talking. That's in the morning. But they're at this beautiful location. It's called Trey's Hall on George Street in Rutgers University. So everyone's welcome.
That's great. And walk-ins are welcome, but they can also RSVP at your website?
Yes. We recommend you RSVP at vedantausa.org, because we do expect more people than the venue can fit, hopefully. So it's better if you RSVP. We've already got about half the venue full, and we're just still about 3 weeks out. So.
And tell us, you also speak locally on a regular basis.
Yes. So as part of our teaching to the community, I have, again, free lectures every week. The closest to the East Brunswick area, actually in East Brunswick on Sunday mornings, in Somerset, Edison, Short Hills, New York City. So throughout the area, I have these weekly talks where I teach this knowledge week after week for people who are interested.
So it's a separate lecture series that they can enroll in?
Yes, they can again visit our website, vedantausa.org, to get more information. But I would recommend they first come to these public lecture series just to get an introduction to what this knowledge is all about, and then they can follow up with the weekly talks.
Now, you're a philosopher. How did you become involved with the Vedanta organization?
Well, I was born and brought up in India, and then I came here, after my 12th grade to do college in the US. I was in Pennsylvania, and my senior year, I had many offers to work in Wall Street and so forth, but at that time in my life, I decided that there's more to life than just working for yourself, and I decided to pursue the understanding of what life is all about. So I enrolled in my teacher's school in India. It's called the Vedanta Academy, and I spent a decade there, 10 years, full time. It's a 3-year course, but I stuck around for longer because 3 years was not enough for me. So, and then came back to the US 10 years ago to teach. So that's what I've been doing.
Well, we're very happy you're here in our area, and we thank you for coming by to explain the series, and we look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
This is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. We hope to see you soon.